Good afternoon. It is September 22nd, 2021. And today we had, I would say we broke up into a range. Because if you look, it looks like these prices, yeah. So I didn't even see that until now. And that's why it's so important to check your context. Not sure if that would have kept you out of any bad trades or not, but yeah, it was also an FOMC today. So prices were trending up in the overnight. We had a break, and it looks like about 3 legs up to a new high. Maybe it's just 2. And then we formed this spike and channel down, and that broke and quickly reversed up, and we got 2 measured legs up. Before that was an overshoot. Well, I looked at this as an overshoot of this channel. That could just be a spike and channel up. This overshoot led to a break, and this is the FOMC announcement, and that spiked up. I guess they liked what the guy said in there. We hit these highs, and that's probably, I would guess that's a measured move too, something like that. But then we started trending down, and I'm not sure. I don't think there's an entry right there. But yeah, it looks like prices are just ranging. So made a move up, really strong move in the overnight, and yeah. So not a whole lot of good trades that I saw, but if you came in early, I think there was a move or two that should have got you in and out pretty early, because there were a couple runners early on. So let's take a look at these trades I marked. So we get this break in the overnight, and then prices were really just ranging in the overnight after trending up. So that's what you probably should have been looking at. And what is this, a first? Okay, so no, this is a first entry, second entry. It's aggressive though. It's just a doji. They look like 2 bars inside of this bar, and all those look like they're inside of this bar. So I entered here, but I unfortunately I backed out at break even because I didn't like the way this was going. But you would have gotten a runner here, and yeah. So then we formed this spike and channel down, probably just trapping some shorts. I didn't see anything I liked for going short here. First entry, failed second entry long, but maybe if you had your range drawn, but we don't really know that this is a range until prices bounce here. So prices do bounce there. You get a first, failed second entry long. I think you can take that. We formed this range after a move up, so I do believe that you can take that. Because it's coming off the lows and you're getting a first, failed second entry. We're expecting to test these highs maybe again. And yeah, everything else in here is too far from the EMA. And then we hit that measured move. And I think, oh wait, no, that's not the measured move. I would guess there's got to be some reason the sell-off occurred right here. Boom, boom. But I didn't find that. It looked like it came short of my range's measured move. Maybe this range is a little smaller, which would make that a perfect measured move. But that's a nice little sell-off right there, and then prices bounce. And let's zoom in. You can see this micro congestion here, and we formed that after this move up. But then we formed this bigger congestion. Oh, this is a first, failed second entry short. You might take that, but way too congested. So this is congestion here, and we get a first entry, second entry, And at this point, it looks like this is a really strong uptrend, and that's why I took that first entry, second entry, and you do scalp out, and then you get a first entry, second entry, and you scalp out on that too. Another reason I like this is because now we're pretty confident that this is a range by this area, and this is the lows of the range. So I like this one even better, really. But then if you're patient, you get an even better signal bar, and that's like a triple test of that price level. So I really like that. And then you get a first failed second entry short. This is a really strong move up, so I like that. And this is all too far from the EMA, unfortunately. And then we get the overshoot of that, which leads to eventually to a break. First entry, second entry. I just marked that because this looked like a really strong move up at this point. So if you want to be aggressive, there it is. But the overshoot should probably scare you out of that. Then we form this congestion right here. It's a first, second entry. So I'm trying to think of where I went long here, but only because this looks like to me like a first failed second entry short. But I didn't like how it closed beneath the EMA, so I went long like right here, and I did end up scalping out, I think, on this bar, because after that then it ticks lower. So I'm not too upset because my entry was pretty good price, but I don't think you want to go long, unfortunately, on this engulfing bar because it's below the EMA. So we get the break. This is the FOMC announcement, and right after the FOMC announcement, you get a really nice setup for a first failed second entry short. That's probably not blue. Maybe it is, because once it ticks above this, then it's yeah, that traps. That's where all their people are going short. So I do like that. That's a good entry. Because these people, their stops are right here. And I'll show you later why that's important. But yeah, you get some entries. This was tempting right here to just go on this first. It looks like a first, second entry. This was trying to go down, and then we get this doji and this bar, and it's looking like a strong trend again at this point. Look at that. That's like a 4-tick bar in the middle of these huge bars, and then you get this doji. They must have trapped a bunch of longs here, though. Look how far it is from the EMA. First entry, failed second entry long right here. Then it bounces back up. But then we form this trend. You might go short here. I just thought it was a little too early to know if the trend was down. So that does look like, actually technically that's a third entry, but it's also a lower high off the trend channel, and it's also a first failed second entry long. So yeah, that was a very good. Yeah, that's first and foremost, that's a failed second entry long. So well done if you got that trade. Here we have a second entry short. This is a little aggressive because it's only off the EMA. First entry, failed second entry long. I almost took that, but I chickened out because it looks congestive here. That ends up being a really good move. Then we form this congestion. After the overshoot of this downward channel, we form this congestion. I thought we were getting a reversal right here. Boom. So, but I think for a reversal pattern, you're looking for a really bullish signal bar, even though it's a failure, and on failure, signal bars don't matter. I think on a reversal, you're probably looking for a very strong signal bar. So I got trapped here, and I think that's what I need to think about. And I just want to stop going for reversals, really. I don't see anything you want to take in this congestion. Maybe this, when it ticks lower, maybe go long there. Then we come back to these highs. This is all too far from the EMA. We get this really nice move down, but there's no entry in there. And first entry, ooh, you might go short here. I was recording this video when this happened, but you might go short there on a failure. I like that. So anyway, that's what I saw. Let's take a look at these trades. I got chopped up today. Bad mentality. We'll talk about that. Took too many trades as well. So yesterday I came in and I didn't have this trend line drawn, unfortunately. So all I saw was this first failed second entry short, and I was like, I entered and I was like, you know what? It's the evening time. I probably shouldn't be entering. I've been stopped out on these recently a lot. And I didn't have my trend line drawn. So I'm like, I don't even know if this is off the trend line. So I got out at break even. Unfortunately, because that was the lowest point after this. So draw your trend lines. Draw your trend lines. Always draw your trend lines. Another situation here. Get in on a second entry long, but this is looking congested. I'm not too upset for backing out of this one. It's unfortunate because it scalped out, but this is congestive, so not too upset. But you know, if you're taking a second entry with trend, maybe just let it play out. This kind of looks like a channel right there. Wish I had seen that. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. And then I think I was just too upset here that I backed out of winning trades. And so I looked at this first failed second entry as a good entry, but this is congestion at this point. This does not look like a strong trend. And this is actually how I had my trend line drawn. And look, that's a break outside the trend line. So I don't like that. So that started me off on a bad note. Let's see. And then I come in and I took 3 trades in like 10 minutes. So this is I believe I entered here, which is really not. This is just the first entry, and you're going long into the highs, so not a good idea. But it does work. And then I enter on this, which is the second entry. I'm okay with that entry. But then I entered, like, it looks like above this bar, which is a first entry with a terrible signal bar. And yeah, I don't like that. That's just really poor behavior, unfortunately. And prices go up, of course. Prices go up, and yeah, this one was aggressive, but I liked my strategy because I did feel like prices were going to go higher, but I didn't like that entry price. So that was a really aggressive move, though. And then here, I went long, thinking, like, I just got to stop with the reversals. I need to study those more before I'm taking them. And, yeah, that's it. Also, I need to check the risk, because this is it's like a 16-tick bar, 17-tick bar. So, always be aware of your risk, and I was not doing well with that. So, hope you guys had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll see you then.